Hey, what's going on? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a movie review for you guys. So for this review, we're going to continue on with the John Wick reviews. So for this review, we're going to talk briefly about John Wick Chapter 3 from 2019. As you can see, I have it on Blu-ray right here. Definitely a solid film, and honestly, there actually was a moment in time where this was my favorite among all the John Wick films. That has kind of changed over time. My favorite nowadays is honestly a toss-up between the first film and Chapter 4, which I did recently go see, actually. And I really can't wait to talk about that movie with you guys because, well, I do have a lot to say about it. But Chapter 3, some might make the argument that it is basically just more of the same from what we got from the second film. I can definitely see that a little bit as far as tone. The tone is very similar to Chapter 2. It has that same sort of dark tone as the second one. But I do feel like they amped up everything in this film. They basically took what worked in the second film and improved upon that in this film. I think Keanu Reeves' performance as John Wick has been an improvement in this film. I would even say that out of all the John Wick films, this movie might have his best performance as John Wick. So yeah, you can tell that they've definitely amped up the brutality and the violence as well. And I still might say that this movie, out of all the John Wick films, still might have the most brutality. Honestly, this film and the fourth one, I think, definitely have the most brutality out of all the John Wick films. It does seem like each film that comes out after the last, it seems like the brutality seems to be stepped up more, you could say. And I, of course, say this because of the knife throwing scene at the first half of the movie. Basically, that whole scene where John Wick is fighting those guys with those axes and those knives in the first half of the film. Very brutal, and some of that is also very painful to watch as well. So, yeah, but it is very cool. Again, great performance from Keanu Reeves, and a lot of other cool moments in the movie as well, like the horse scene where he's in the stable and he's basically using a horse as a weapon against the guys that are after him. You also have the motorcycle chase scene as well, which that scene in particular, I don't know if it's just me, but I want to say that scene has taken some inspiration from one of the scenes in the Korean film The Villainess. I'm sure some of you will know what I'm talking about because there's a scene that is very similar in The Villainess, a similar motorcycle chase scene in that movie. I'm sure that John Wick 3 took some inspiration from that, but I could be wrong. If not, they're still very similar. And the movies are very similar to each other, actually. So yeah, if you do like the John Wick films, I would definitely recommend The Villainess. Two similar films as far as tone and action and everything. And obviously different stories, but yeah, I just think that there's some similarities there. And yeah, again, you got a cool cast here as well. Keanu Reeves is back as John Wick, giving it his all, of course. And you also have Halle Berry in this movie as well, which I've seen her in many things as well. Like, I know she was in one of the James Bond movies, Die Another Day, I think it was. She was also Storm in the X-Men films, so that's cool. So yeah, she definitely knows how to make her way around in the world of action, which is cool. So yeah, a lot of cool action moments, and even that scene in particular when Halle Berry's character teams up with John Wick, and you know, she's using her dogs and basically taking out an entire army, which is just really fun to watch. Just that whole sequence is really epic. And of course, in this movie, more people want to kill John Wick. I mean, his bounty goes up, and he just does what he does best. I mean, it's just a really solid movie, and I do think it's a step up from the second film, honestly. So, if I were to give Chapter 3 a score, I'd have to give it a 9 out of 10. It's a very good movie for sure. I really can't find much wrong with it, to be honest. I think the action is epic, and it's all really well done. Just even the story, everything like that. You also can't forget about the ending as well, when John Wick is shot off a roof, for crying out loud, and he survives. which when you watch the scene, you're like, how does anyone survive that? But he does, so there you have it. So John Wick 3, great movie for sure, 9 out of 10 for me. So let me know what you think of John Wick Chapter 3 if you've seen it. And if you've seen the first 2 films, but not this one, definitely check out this one. So on that note, thanks for watching, and have a good one.